Hello my friends, and welcome back to the rabbit hole. In today's video, we are doing a comparison of 5 of the best-selling dry shampoos at Sephora. Some quick little backstory and intro of what this video is. So I wanted to do a video dedicated to dry shampoos just because I absolutely love and dearly need dry shampoo. I tend to think that this is a category that you will love if you have a similar hair type to me. You know, I have very fine and rather flat hair, and it's blonde, which means any amount of oil will show in my roots. Oh my goodness, you will see it all. It looks dirty in the evening of wash day. It really does. I'm not making that up. It really does. If it wasn't for dry shampoo, I would have to wash my hair every single day, which is just, that's too much effort. It's just too much effort. Now for this particular video, I am talking about high-end dry shampoos just because in my own head, I feel like it's a lot less risky to buy a $6 drugstore dry shampoo than, you know, we've got an almost $30 dry shampoo in this video. If that's not the one for you, that's $30 down the drain. But do let me know in the comments below if you're interested in some drugstore comparisons or some hidden gems, anything like that. But for this video, these originally were the top 5 bestsellers. I think it is the brand Way who worked themselves into the 4th spot since I bought all of these. So let me tell you guys a little bit about what I'm going to cover with these dry shampoos. So we're going to talk about their oil control properties, how much they provide volume. We're going to talk about how much residue they leave behind. We'll talk about the ingredients. This one's tricky with the ingredients. I want to talk about it from a more clean perspective. And I chose this direction because I noticed in looking at some of the reviews, you know, people were a little unhappy to discover that they purchased a dry shampoo that contains talc or BHT. So we're going to do that type of approach, but I'll still comment on the ingredients as a whole. And just do know that dry shampoo, it's never going to be a clean category. You know, it's not like you can be like, oh, our dry shampoo is made with the freshest propane picked directly from the trees. And then the final category is the strength of scent. Rather than tell you what scents I liked, just because smell is something that is so personal, I'd rather rank them in terms of the weakest scent to the strongest scent. Because you know how it is. If you ever buy a very strong smelling product, that's great if you like that smell, but if you don't, ooh, it's practically unusable. And for every one of those categories that I just gave, I ranked all 5 of these dry shampoos. Now, please understand, this means that some of these dry shampoos are going to get, you know, 4th or 5th place, but at the end of the day, this video is all only my opinion, and if you do disagree, feel free to leave a comment. I will not get mad at you. I actually welcome differing opinions because, you know, like I mentioned earlier, we do have different hair types and we do have different things that we are seeking in our dry shampoo. Some people want more volume than oil control, vice versa. And one final comment, do know that even though I ranked these, in some cases, there's a little more to this story. So don't just look at the rankings, definitely listen to the words that I'm saying as well. Some of these dry shampoos are a little tricky. No, there's one more thing. So I'm going to be putting up these little videos of me spraying these products directly into my roots. Just know that that's for the purposes of showing you any potential residue. In reality, you don't want to spray it quite as close as I did. You're going to want to spray it more like 6 or so inches away from your hair. That's enough of an intro. Let's go ahead and get into talking about these dry shampoos. And I'm just going to go down the list in terms of what Sephora says is the top bestseller. So that's going to have us talking about the Drybar Detox Dry Shampoo. I was so surprised that this was in the #1 spot until I really started thinking about it and I realized Texas is a very big state, which means I'm going to immediately give you a spoiler that I think this is #1 for volume. Drybar says of their dry shampoo that it is super absorbent, volumizing with a matte finish. I do think this one actually is a little bit more quirky than some of the other dry shampoos. I do feel that this is one of the dry shampoos that leaves behind a higher amount of residue than some of the others, but you might actually like the residue that it leaves behind, as it is a very, very yellow residue, which leaves me thinking that if you are a golden blonde, it's gonna be perfect. And I can personally attest to this because I go through phases where I really, really love what this dry shampoo does for me in terms of the volume and in terms of that gold color. But if I have my hair toned to a much more white color, I do not like having that very yellow color at my roots. In terms of oil control, I rated this number 3. I think it is quite decent at that, and worth mentioning, if you are really trying to maximize the oil control from any dry shampoo, I'd recommend you start using it the same day that you washed your hair, right before bed. Just spray a little bit in, and you get kind of more of a buildup of that dry shampoo. It certainly gives you more of that oil control property. But I really want to make sure that I spend some time talking about the ingredients with this one in particular. This one is not going to be the cleanest formula. In fact, it ranks number 5 for that, as it does contain both BHT and talc. And again, I did see some people expressing frustration about not knowing that in advance. However, there's actually some things that I do like about the ingredients list as well. So, depending, if those ingredients don't bother you, you may be interested in knowing this part. First off, some of these dry shampoos contain dimethicone, which is kind of a little bit heavier of a silicone. This one uses cyclopentasiloxane, which, while that is a silicone as well, it does evaporate from the hair. And then you've also got some antioxidant-rich ingredients in here, so you're actually getting the same benefits as the Bumble & Bumble UV Protective Dry Shampoo from those antioxidants. In terms of the strength of the smell of this one, I ranked it right in the middle, number 3. I think that it is, not too strong necessarily, but not too weak either. I do think it's a polarizing scent, though. In fact, I do not like it. It smells very much like baby powder with a hint of lavender, and I'm just not the biggest fan of the smell of baby powder. Don't like it in deodorants, don't like it in dry shampoo either. But again, I think the real characteristic of this is that if you are a fine and flat-haired golden blonde, well, I think you're gonna love this one. Next up on my list, and honestly the dry shampoo that I was shocked is not in the number 1 best-selling position, Living Proof's Perfect Hair Day Dry Shampoo. Yes, this one is hands down my absolute favorite. The main claim that Living Proof makes is that this dry shampoo actually cleans hair. How? Fast-acting powders soak up not only oil, but also sweat and odor. And the thing is, I actually find that to be very true. My hair genuinely feels cleaner when I use the Living Proof dry shampoo versus any of the others. So if oil control and feeling clean are very important to you, I think this is going to be your best pick. And we kind of have to talk about the ingredients second with this one, because this is also my top pick for the ingredients, not just because I do feel that it has the most clean, relatively formula, but because this is the only dry shampoo of all of these that does not contain any oils nor any silicones. And if you're like me, you might be sitting there thinking, why would silicone and oil be in products that are meant to control oil? I truly don't know, so know that this is the only fully silicone-free, fully oil-free dry shampoo. I ranked this one number 2 for volumizing properties and number 3 for residue. It does leave a little bit of a white residue, but I will tell you this, if you leave it in your hair for about 30 seconds and then come back and brush through, it's actually surprising how well that works in minimizing the residue. My theory on this here, and keep in mind this is only a theory, I tend to think that, well, if you've got a product that has no silicones and has no oils kind of holding the dry shampoo into one portion of the hair, maybe what you're doing is spreading it out through the hair when you come back in 30 seconds later. That could also explain why I kind of feel like my hair in general, not just the roots, looks cleaner when I do use this. But it is worth mentioning because if you have deeper hair, I don't believe this is one of the brands that has a tinted color. And then for scent strength, I ranked this number 2. You will definitely smell this, but I do feel that it's more on the neutral side. It's actually really funny though. To me, this smells very herbal. It kind of smells like a bottle of vitamins, and it's something that I don't mind, but I've always been like, I don't think other people will probably love that. However, I had Ara smelling this, and she was like, ooh, that one smells good. It smells like jasmine and aloe. And I was just like, how on earth do you get that from that? You see what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about with this whole scent is extremely personal. How's one person smelling practically a perfume and the other person is smelling a bottle of vitamins? Again, this one is my personal favorite. You know, it's a little pricey to have a favorite dry shampoo that is $25, so I try to catch it in sales. There's usually some excellent sales on the Ulta website around Black Friday. There's usually some holiday sets around the holidays themselves, so there's definitely ways to pay a little less than $25, but honestly, this one's worth $25. Next up, we have the Amika Perk Up Dry Shampoo, which advertises itself as a talc-free dry shampoo, although most of these are also talc-free. Now, what I will tell you about this, first off, just so you know, this is the old packaging, but the same product. I will give this number 1 for price. This is actually the best value for the size that you get. And I might be bringing out some unpopular opinions here because I do know that this is a very well-loved dry shampoo, but specifically in the context of comparing this to the others in the video, it's just not gonna rank as high. And a lot of that is because I feel like this is another quirky dry shampoo. Maybe they're all kind of quirky, maybe they're just like us, we all have our own quirks, right? With this dry shampoo, first of all, it's strongest for scent. If you love the scent, you're gonna love this dry shampoo, but if you hate the scent, it's gonna follow you the entire day. And just so you know what it smells like, it's kind of a little bit more of a tropical scent, maybe some hibiscus, in a very, very strong way. The second major quirk with this dry shampoo is that they claim that it has no residue. And, you know, when you first spray it, yeah, you have no residue, but it does something so odd in that the residue kind of starts to appear through the day. And I really don't like that because I would rather style my hair and have it, you know, look a certain way, not surprise me a couple of hours later. In terms of having clean ingredients, it's really not bad. You know, it is indeed a talc-free dry shampoo. However, another quirk of the ingredients is that it does contain dimethicone as well as some oils. Now, they are antioxidant-rich oils, which is nice, but they're still there. And I think that's why, for oil control as well as for volume, I had to give this number 4. I just don't think it really stands out, at least nowhere near to the level as, you know, numbers 1 and 2 on the list. And with it having that sneaky residue thing, I just have to give it number 5 for residue. You know, again, of course, this is only my opinion, but yeah, for me, I stocked up on this. That's why I have the old bottle. I have another old bottle. It's gonna probably take me a while to get through these. Klorane is next on the list, and I genuinely think this is the most polarizing dry shampoo in the entire video. Some people swear by this, and some people say, what on earth are other people talking about? This is one of the worst dry shampoos I've ever used in my whole life. And funny story for you guys related to this one. So I think it was the Ulta Gorgeous Hair event. I was talking in that video about this dry shampoo, and I said it's one of the better options for not leaving behind residue. Well, then I went to, you know, prep for this video. I was using all these dry shampoos for a week at a time, and I was thinking, what was I thinking? This is one of the worst for residue. But that is because I forgot something about this dry shampoo, and that is it has completely different instructions for usage from all of the others. Klorane says with this dry shampoo to spray it into your hair, wait 2 minutes, and then brush it out. And I'm going to tell you what, not even 2 minutes, make it 5 minutes. And let me tell you what, if you do that, if you genuinely put this in your hair, go have a cup of coffee or something, come back 5 minutes later and brush it out, it's actually one of the best for residue. So going back through the list here, I ranked it number 2 for oil control. It is actually very effective at controlling oil. Number 3 for volumizing. I don't find it to really add a lot of volume, but it's okay, right in the middle. Residue, number 2. Number 2, as long as you follow those rather different instructions. It's absolutely my number 1 pick for the strength of scent. It's a very, very light scent. If you are somebody who is sensitive to scents, I could see how this would be your holy grail. It's very light, it's just kind of maybe a cucumber or flower scent, but barely there. You don't smell it for the whole day. And number 2, for clean ingredients, I actually feel like some people really bought this for that purpose. They say it's got plant-based ingredients, but you could say that of quite a few of these. However, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't have any of that dimethicone. It does have a little bit of an oil in it, oat oil. However, it's lower in the ingredients list, and it's a really short ingredients list. So overall, I do like it. Just absolutely know about that 5-minute thing, because you're going to hate it otherwise. And then in the number 5 spot, we have the Bumble & Bumble Pret-a-Powder Tray Invisible Dry Shampoo. I feel like I was kind of surprised when I saw that this was only in the number 5 spot, number 6, because way moved up. But anyway, however, after using it, I get it, but I feel like this came so highly recommended. It might be that the powder, as opposed to the spray, seems to have way better and different reviews. However, let's stay focused here. We're going to talk about the spray. I've just got to say that this is another one of these dry shampoos that I think is going to be quite polarizing. So you may notice that I ranked it number 5 for reducing oil and for volume. But a little bit of a footnote. I was reading through a lot of the other reviews, because I'm not going to lie to you. For a while I was over here going, is there something wrong with me? I'm following the directions with this. Why is it not working out for me? But when I looked at those reviews, I saw a lot of people with my hair type exactly saying that this doesn't work for them. So it may be a case of this could be great if you have thicker, especially deeper colored hair, because for me it's just not doing anything in terms of what I love in a dry shampoo. But I said I was going to be fair, and here's the thing. This absolutely ranks number 1 for the least residue. It's almost a bit of an inverse correlation between, reducing oil and not leaving behind a residue, which I find really interesting. In terms of the ingredients, which you have to peel the label back to read, I'm gonna have to give it number 4. It's not that it's terrible, but again, not that any of these are super clean ingredients lists. But it does have dimethicone listed a little high, which could explain why there's no residue, but also, again, why there's not a lot of oil control and why there's a bit of a flat effect going on. Flat effect? You guys know exactly what I mean. Yeah, just, not necessarily the best ingredients list, which is funny because they're selling this as a 2-in-1 product. It's supposed to protect you from UV light. Again, what that means, I've talked about this in a couple videos, not sure if I've talked about it in a hair video. So when you've got UV protective properties, you've got antioxidants, which are going to neutralize the free radicals that you're getting from the sun. So it is certainly not the same thing as saying it's a sunblock. Ooh, that is actually painful when I hear people say there's hairsprays that are sunblocks. No, it's not that. It's neutralizing the damage from the sun. So, I suppose I could see people enjoying this for that specific purpose. But like I said, do know that some of these other products do contain antioxidants, and this one does happen to be absolutely the most expensive of all of the dry shampoos. Not just in price, in the amount of product that you get as well. And then finally, the scent. The scent on this one is strange to me. There's just a lot going on, kind of flowers, maybe wildflowers mixed in with a bit of berries. It's just, to my nose, it's a little bit chaotic, but it is still not as strong as Amika's. And one more time, just because I do tend to like Bumble & Bumble, so with this product there was a little bit of a what happened for me personally. But, just know that the powder has better reviews. It may just be that the aerosol is not their best. And that is all I have for today's video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.